It was 1:03 a.m. when I called her. The hotel room was dark, except for the soft blue light of the city bleeding through the curtains. I'd been staring at the ceiling for hours, counting the seconds between breaths, between thoughts. When she didn't answer the first time, I tried again. On the third ring, a man's voice answered. My best friend's. "Hey," he said calmly, almost rehearsed. "She's busy right now. She'll call you later." The silence that followed was heavy, too heavy for two people who should have been strangers at that hour. Then I heard it, her laugh, distant, carefree, the kind of laugh she hadn't used around me in months. For a moment, I said nothing. My throat felt hollow. My heart didn't even race, it just stopped, like it knew something my mind refused to believe. Then I spoke, quietly. "Keep her," I said. "She's your problem now." He didn't respond. Maybe he couldn't. The line went dead, and the quiet that filled the room was beautiful. But beauty has a price, and I had just started calculating it. The morning after, I went through the motions. Meetings, polite smiles, fake laughter. I even managed to make a few jokes over coffee with the team. No one noticed my hands trembling when I reached for the cup. I told myself I didn't care. People cheat. People lie. It happens every day. But something about them didn't sit right. It wasn't just betrayal. It was precision, intent. Every memory began to rearrange itself in my head, forming a pattern I'd refused to see before. The nights she stayed late at work, the sudden interest in privacy, the subtle perfume that lingered on my jacket after he'd visited. I remembered the weekend they both insisted I should take that trip alone. "You've been working too hard," she said. "You deserve a break." And I believed her. That was the part that made me sick. Not her, not him, me, for believing in the illusion, for ignoring the small things that didn't add up. Now, sitting in a quiet hotel bar, I replayed that phone call again. His voice, her laughter, the tone that carried no guilt, no hesitation, just comfort. Comfort in my absence. I didn't confront her, not yet. Confrontation was emotion. Emotion was weakness. Instead, I observed. I came home 3 days early. She didn't expect that. The look on her face when I walked through the door said enough. Surprise disguised as joy. Her hug was stiff, like holding someone else's life in my arms. I smiled, kissed her forehead, and said I'd missed her. Lies deserve lies. That night while she slept, I checked her phone. She'd changed her password. I smiled. Predictable. So I accessed the backups. iCloud keeps more secrets than people realize. There they were. Deleted messages, photos, plans. Dinner receipts, hotel bookings, all under his name. And then something else. An unsent message. He's starting to suspect. Be careful. I stared at it for a long time. I didn't feel anger. I felt clarity. Over the next few days, I collected evidence quietly. Credit card statements, phone records, location data. She thought she was careful, but people in love make mistakes. They get lazy. They trust. By the end of the week, I had everything. But evidence wasn't enough. I wanted understanding. I wanted to see how far they'd go if I let them. So I waited, watched, listened, and when she told me she was going out for dinner with friends, I followed. They met in a dimly lit restaurant across town, sat too close, touched too often. Her hand on his smile. I didn't take pictures. I didn't need proof anymore. I just needed the right moment. The moment came 2 nights later. We were sitting at dinner. She was talking about her day, casual, distant, almost mechanical. I let her speak. I watched the way she avoided eye contact. When she asked about my trip, I reached into my jacket and placed an envelope on the table. She froze. "What's this?" she asked, voice trembling slightly. "Open it," I said. Inside were the screenshots, the messages, the hotel bills. Every line neatly printed and dated. She didn't speak. Her eyes filled, her lips parted, but no words came out. And that silence? That silence was everything I had waited for. When she finally looked up, she whispered, "How long have you known?" "Since the night I called." Her face drained of color. That was the moment she realized the call wasn't a mistake. It was the start of the end. She tried to explain, to cry, to reach for me. I didn't move. I simply said, "You don't owe me excuses. You owe yourself honesty." Then I stood, walked to the door, and left the divorce papers on the counter. Already signed, already processed. I'd filed them the morning after that call. It wasn't about rage. It was about precision, about ending a lie with the same control it began with. As I walked out, I called him. He answered after 2 rings. "She's all yours now," I said. "But I'd check your bank account if I were you." I'd already canceled the business loan he'd begged me to co-sign, the one that kept his company alive. He went silent, the kind of silence that tastes like fear. "Good night," I said, and I hung up. It's been 6 months. I don't dream about her anymore. Sometimes I hear her voice in the echo of my apartment, but it fades as quickly as it comes. People ask if I hate her. I don't. Hate is an anchor, and I've cut the rope. She lives with him now, from what I hear. He's struggling. She's restless. 2 liars trying to build trust out of ashes. I hope they last, just long enough to destroy each other. As for me, I sleep well. The kind of sleep that comes when there's nothing left to prove. I called her once, months ago, just to hear the ring. She didn't answer. I smiled, because she finally understood silence too. And silence, in the end, is the only revenge that doesn't fade.